This is in fact this is a off topic. I won't say it's a rant. People feel online that I rant too much when I'm on social media and all the rest, and even when I go silent. Some people see me go off so much that when I go silent, they can't take it. People often can't take me while I'm going off, and they also can't take me when I disappear. As in, while I'm there, they hate to see me and they wish I would just scatter away, and then when I disappear, they want me to come back. It's always been that way. Facebook, who's looking for me? Never even know what that. Right. But like, subscribe, ID in the Discovery channel. Yes, ID in the Discovery channel. The links are provided below. Get that Discovery Go app as well as that ID Go app. You might want to get those two things, combine them, make them into one. So the level of disrespect online. I've been known to be playful and disrespectful my own self. Yes, we all have been known to do that sort of thing. And yet right here on YouTube, or even wherever you're at, Instagram, Facebook, there's all type of social media platforms where you can in fact receive disrespect in the lane of where people come on your stuff, right? Not my viewers. I'm speaking outside of them. I'm speaking more so outside of YouTube itself. You do have people on YouTube that have fully disrespected me towards missing children stuff where they cuss me out and stuff like that. That sort of thing. Even when I'm gonna leave that part alone. But where they fully cuss you out, right? That's one thing. But more so where I have issues outside of YouTube. I have more issues outside of YouTube with the disrespect than I do right here on YouTube, right? The written form when I'm at. Because I've been on internet since like 1995, 1996. Let me slow down my words because I'm jumbling with that, right? Lips gymnastics is going on. Because I want to say things so quickly and yet I can't get it out. Just messing up, right? But I have issues outside, more so out of YouTube, right? When I'm writing stuff in written form and digital, right? How people come on your stuff and they tell you what not to do and what not to say while you're typing out stuff while you're sitting there, right? They telling you what not to say, and yet I don't like that type of thing, because my thing is, well, if I'm doing things that are not right or in the right way, then maybe you need to be a helping hand, as in take me by the hand and show me in the written form of what I need to do, as in what is the right way. Does that make sense? There's losers and winners in life, and I always call out losers. Notice that sort of thing, because I myself am not a loser. Never will I ever be, because I try to help people and point in the direction of educating other people. That's how you become a winner. To be selfish is to become a loser, right? But if you see that I'm doing something wrong, why not you be helping and lovingly and showing me how to do it right? That's only common sense, I'm saying. If I say something the wrong way, or not, I'm not doing stuff the wrong way, people need to understand I'm known to go off. Even when people respond back, they're trying to tell me, well, you said that wrong. I have to be forced to get over it, because the person telling me is trying to help me out. So I do take that with a grain of salt, where I know that I can go off when I be like, well, dang, they told me don't do it like this, or they said it like that. They're just trying to help me. They don't have no ill intent. And yet the people that's outside of YouTube, their intent completely is nothing more than jealousy over the proofreader, as I'm able to see it as it's happening. I don't like that sort of thing, because for me to be speaking about some individual that say I love and care about or whatever on a platform, is to say nobody should do that over there. And I say it every day, nobody is going to be telling me on here how to talk about this individual if you're not telling me the right way specifically of how I need to do it. I don't like stuff like that at all. I said that 10 times. Because see, a winner will say, you know what? Let me sit back and read some of this for a few days on you. You know what? You could have did it like this, or you could have did it like that. But it's up to you on how you want to do it, right? That's how a winner would do it, because they want to prevent you from losing or stalling out. And yet a loser will just come and just cuss you out. And do it in front of everybody, just enough for everybody to see, as and get their friends in on it. And now here come a whole bunch of groups of people attacking you all at once. I've had that happen even in the form of a death threat. People grouping up in teams and all that on the Facebook and issuing me a death threat based upon something I had something to do with a situation. They didn't know what the situation actually was, and they was mad because they couldn't be a part of it. And they just death threatened me all out. Like, what is it to you that this is my situation that has nothing to do with you? A situation that has nothing to do with a person is to say, well, why are you even there or trying to be involved to begin with? You're not even on my level of thinking is what I had to let these people know over there on the Facebook and everywhere else. You're not on my level. Because if you were, you would be standing right where I am. And I don't like and take too well to no death threats and all that. I ain't never been the person I might in fact call the FBI on even that. As in point them in your direction to find out who you are behind the screen with that, because I don't like stuff like that. That's never going to happen. There's a right way to step to me and say, well, I just thought, that could be better or this or that. But to be screaming and shouting on some screaming matches even in person, what you gonna do and harming me? That ain't never gonna work. I can get right off this camera and be on the phone with FBI and you not even know or anything like that. I'm just saying outside of YouTube, because I had to let that be known. Well, do you know who I know? As in who's working in law enforcement? You don't want to do that. I've been known to even flash the FBI's face in response to certain people on there that do certain things. On my social media accounts, flash the FBI's face, the logo, I'm saying, to let them know, that's not gonna work. Because you could get violent on me or hurt me in something in the process if you're gonna be doing stuff to the severity of taking it off the top with that. The stuff that people do, in which I'm not saying online, because they're able to do that behind the screen and you can't see their face. Which is why I had the issue with the disrespect online to begin with. And I said that already. Who are you to come tell me what to do? And your profile has a photo of somebody famous or somebody else, and yet I don't even know who you are. You could be a killer sitting there trying to do a learning process or something, right? But who are you to come tell me and check me in some written form and be replying back and trying to have a screaming match with me? And yet nobody knows what you look like, and not only that, nobody knows who you are at face. That shows a low self-esteem to not have no photo of yourself where everybody can see it while you walking around online telling everybody else what to do. And not only that, you're not resolving no issues out here in society. You're not helping nobody. You're not helping no homeless man or woman cross the street in society. And yet you want to evict people off their own property. For somebody to for somebody to come on Facebook or anything like that, Instagram, and then tell you, well, I don't like because you said such and such about such and such, right? You, in fact, need to not be saying that about such and such, right? It's for me to ask them, well, when was the last time you helped a homeless man or woman across the street? When the last time you gave them a gift of something to eat, like a hearty meal, while you sitting up watching famous people all day? When the last time has that taken place? It's all type of people dying sick from cancer that don't have the means and funds to pay their own bills. Yes, Asia was one of those individuals. Not Asia Degree, Asia Sharon. I say Sharon, Asia. She died with that because not enough people here across the world, humanity helped her out enough with that. She didn't have the means and the funds to live and survive. And yet people like that come check me don't see her and millions of people like her. Helps to stay off my stuff with that type of thing. Because see, I like to that too, where I'll be checking out of YouTube when I disappear or whatever. I'll be in written form on social media, typing out stuff with photographs and all the rest. That's print form marketing, right? I do a lot of that as well in the name of discovery, right? And other people and even famous people, right? And the level of disrespect, I'll be like, when was the last time you went and helped Africa? More so to black people, because they're good for that sort of thing. Many of y'all out there see me. That's not saying y'all, but I be wanting to know if you can disrespect me that bad while I'm trying to help certain people. That lets me know how you think and feel about Africa, your own kind. even if you was forced to be sent back to Africa and live and survive over there. It's to say you possibly couldn't do it because you're too busy walking around checking other people. And not only that, you ain't checking on your own kind enough to help resolve the starving baby issue over in Africa. That ain't never gonna work out. The losership in American society is needs to be ran over, and possibly never even picked up ever again, because that's a no-go. I don't like stuff like that. It's bothersome. So what baby is in Africa sitting there starving, crying themselves to death with flies all in the mouth and all? You done seen all that on TV. While some loser in the form of black, same shade as me, is coming to tell me and try to push me off my own account. And yet they ain't doing nothing for nobody else. They just sit back reading and not helping. That's a loser. Losers can't get nowhere in life looking at other people and not playing no process into that. That's why they get jealous and envious of a person like me. Because I'm not going anywhere. See, I focus on problems everywhere I go. And that, too, is why I'm not liked and get disrespect. I get handed a plate full of meat draped up as disrespect, right? Because everywhere I go, I see a problem. If I walk down the street and I see some homeless person sitting there or laying there, and I think, well, man, he possibly didn't even eat. And if I go to the store and I come back to get him something and see that he's still there, it's to provide to him what somebody else didn't give him. The problem has been met by resolution. It's not everything. And me going to the store, me coming close to that homeless man and say, okay, he sleep there on the ground. And yet I know he more likely could be a wino, maybe not, right? But who cares with that? He's still sleeping on the ground, right? He might need something to eat when he wakes up. Everybody wants to have a full stomach. So let me go to the store while he's asleep and bring him something. And wake him up and say, here, would you like this? And he take it. Homeless people are known to take, right? That's what they're supposed to do, right? Not everybody agree with that. Well, he needs to get a job. No, you need to mind your business and do something more meaningful. If it ain't helping him, helping somebody else, right? Letting him take the gift from me in which I just served him, because that's going to help improve society enough for him. You don't know how. That's why it helps to not judge even homeless people. You don't know how even that's going to change that homeless person's mindset, or even perceiving me wanting to give something such as a meal to him by waking him up and telling him, here, eat this, and him or her taking it. That might have been the first ever gift that homeless person might have ever received from somebody, because everybody, usually normal everyday people, just walk right past those type of people. And yet to pay attention is to say, well, man, somebody in fact do care. That can change a homeless person's mind, let me tell you, all the way. People don't listen and pay attention, especially those that disrespect me when I'm online, writing stuff out for hours on end when I do that in marketing form, right? They don't think, well, I should not disrespect her because I don't know her. Because not only is she helping this one famous individual, she's also helping Discovery. But not only that, she could be the type of person that give to homeless people all day and all night when ain't nobody around. And could be changing their life in the process. Because to go back off of what I just said is to say that, imagine if that homeless man or woman wakes up one day and their life is totally changed. As in they change their mind and their mindset based off of me giving them some peanuts or something. You don't never know how somebody's going to take something, even when it's so small. They might wake up one day and say, well, somebody really cares for me. And they have a totally different outlook and view on themselves from then on out, enough to get up out of homelessness. You don't never know. That's how I think. I think very, very deeply in place of thinking shallow. I don't ever need no loser over on that side to be doing all that with the, as in I fail to pay attention. I go off on losers as I should, make them realize of what I just said, because not everybody perceives stuff the way that I do on the level of just what I said. Well, if you do something for somebody homeless, they might in fact get out of homelessness. Because even in childhood, they might not have ever had anybody show them a bag of peanuts and say, here, I want you to eat these so that your stomach can be full. Even if you're stuck in malnourishment, I want you to eat these. So to show that you're valued, right? Just eat them. And then one day you look up and that homeless person is now a businessman or woman, and now they're operating stuff where they were judged in the past for them laying around and stinking in filth. Helps to perceive life in the way with that, even in the realm of value and stuff, and even other people. Because if I ain't doing something right, it's to say, well, she ain't doing it right. Let me try to tell her, and not just be knifing me. Well, let me just knife her and butcher her in the process with that. Because see, what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn all the way around, just like a globe does, as well as Discovery does, a globe and Discovery and all the rest. I'm going to turn right around on a loser and ask you, well, what are you doing? When was the last time you did something for somebody? And not only that, do you even check on your grandmother, your grandfather, grandparents, and all the rest? How do you treat your own kids in your own world? Because to say that you spending too much time disrespecting me while I'm typing out all these 50 million words is to say you might not even be looking out for your own kind. Remember, you're disrespecting me in the worst way. So yeah, viewer, I want you to let me know how you feel about that sort of thing. Because see, all of us are on Instagram or I don't really sit on Instagram like that, but Facebook, all these social media, Pinterest, and all this other stuff, right? You sit on there and then you could say one thing and it could be taken in a whole complete disrespect. It could be taken in a whole different way, not in a disrespectful way, because that wasn't what you intended. And yet for somebody outside of you, that's how they take it. They don't know where you're coming from. They're not smart enough and genius enough on the level, or say my level, to say, well, let me ask her, well, why did she say that? Some people need to practice that sometimes too, to sit back and, because see, I do that with everything. When I see something at face and take it, I don't take it at face value, but it's there at face value. I don't just walk into it and say, well, let me just go ahead and say something and try to fix that person. No, I back up and take 2 or 3 looks at it to see, well, why did they say that? Or what does that mean? Because even that can teach me something, and not only how to perceive the world, but also how to perceive myself. As in, don't just judge something upon contact, because you can mess up all type of stuff like that. Walking up on somebody and just opening your mouth, and because all type of people, yes, do work for all type of people, or just not that, you can mess up things even in relationships with other people. Because I've did that in the past. I'm guilty of that. Walking up on something and saying, well, man, such and such type real fast. They got 50 million posts. But let me just slap her in the face right quick and tell her slow down and stop. And not only that, tell her to not do anything and say anything more, right? Those type of people could possibly need me in the future. Or maybe not. Maybe they'll stay losers or something with that, right? But I had to learn that in the deadly game of that's something you don't want to do. You in fact want to take your time in that with the response. Even Discovery, yes, had to teach me that, to step back, because it's all about perception anyway. Seeing something and want to make a comment real quick on the spot, don't do that. Take a step back and read into it, because not only is you being able to read into what the message is, it's also showing you that person's mindset behind that message. Enough to say, well, man, they are not like me. Maybe I need to find out what this person is about, because I have yet to see an individual like them in society. Because in society, a lot of times people don't speak up for themselves. They don't do anything. They just walk around like sheep and follow everybody else, right? And yet there's gems out here that live in the world that speak up and say certain things, even in print form, even for working for Discovery or whoever else, right? It's all about perception is what I'm trying to say. To put a message out there is to say it's going to be viewed and it's going to be taken however it's going to be taken. With that, I'm known to do broadcasting in all type of ways and not just in video form. I'm really, really good more so in the written form because I was born to be a writer, more so than sitting on this camera. I'm like really genius at a genius level, and been told that the way how I do stuff in marketing in the print form, because to know that photographs is there is to say, well, I can hurry up and type that out, right? Just whisk by with that, right? Whereas on camera, it's kind of harder because I'm looking at myself as I'm making sure I'm right in the angle, right in the center, right? But at the same time, I got to make sure that I say whatever so that I can receive information back from you in the form of comments and stuff, right? Video and print is not the same in marketing. It is and it isn't. Because video is almost more like real time, just like written form is, right? But at the same time, the marketing aspect in the written form is for me basically to put stuff out to you like in your face in perception on that level. And I'm not expecting to receive any replies or comments back because all businesses do that at face with you in the perception level of how my hand is at the camera. That's how I do everything in written form. And yet in camera form, I don't do that. I'm just sitting here. My written form comes across more loud and blatant with that than it does on camera. And it's supposed to, because that's how you sell everything. Every business has to have marketing to the forefront. And most of these businesses pull more money into their marketing tactics and, yes, branding, but more so advertising that face to get buyers and gain buyers. That's why it always has to be broadcasted loud despite it being in print and in photo form, right? Not everybody knows how to take that online as it's happening or seeing it as it's done in the way that I do it. It's very, very loud. My writing approach is very, very loud. It's like I make an announcement in every post. And so people have told me, man, when I see your stuff, it's like, boom. It's like a bomb has been dropped, right? And it should be. That's the way to get you to tune in. Even if I need whoever over there to come over here to YouTube, right? And yet for me, it's to stay and remain untouched with that, as in away from the losers with that, the mindset. There should be, these people need to be investing their time in something useful or something. I don't know no alternative route for that. Because to say a space has been disrespected is to say, well, let me see. I've had that issue too where people have said, well, let me find out a way to have this taken down or have that taken down from her. You shouldn't ever want to do that sort of thing. Because there's a lot to be gained in the lessons. Remember, I don't talk like other people. If the majority of population my age got on this camera and say the things that I say or other people say, whatever, and I have yet to say anything as of yet. I just, yes, put discovery when it comes to the news stories there, and yet to show my real level of deep thinking is to say if I did that sort of thing and millions of other people did that sort of thing right here on YouTube, the world will be a changed population of people, masses of people like that. All across the globe, seeming people use YouTube all across the globe. The world will be a whole totally different changing with that. But not everybody wants to do that. They just want to sit back and see who they can watch and judge in the process. That's a no-go. Ain't no winning in that. So I think that's all to be said. But yeah, tell me, because I know some of y'all y'all do in fact have YouTube accounts. Whether you have it fully set up and you make videos or not, you might in fact just watch people. That's fine to watch. That's cool, right? But I don't really get into say like the judging and the bashing, right? Depending on the situation. But let me know, how do you feel about that sort of thing? If you sit back and you watch, or not sit back and watch videos, but if you're a video creator yourself, how do you feel about that level of expression when people come and disrespect you? See, YouTube, my YouTube is so quiet, my account, and I like it this way. I don't like 50 million people on my stuff and all this and that. But say, let's go outside of YouTube, seeming that's where I started to begin with. How do you feel about people coming on your stuff and just knifing you? Not coming and saying, well, I don't like this or I don't like that, like how I was told, well, I don't like your layout or I don't like this or I don't like. Not that. That's mellow and soft. I get with that. But this calling you bees and, well, you ain't nothing but this and you ain't nothing but that and I come kill you and all this. What do you feel about that type of stuff? I mean, it has to be stated and had. Because as technology, I'm saying as it needs to be discussed even more. More YouTube creators need to make videos of what I'm speaking on, the level of that, where it needs to be stopped. Because that's a security issue. That's overstepping bounds, right? But to not face that and discuss it is to say it's going to continue to happen. Which is why you got to put those type of people in their place. Nobody's going to come throw no bomb on me. Nobody's going to come butcher me. None of that is going to ever happen. Because the FBI could be watching me is what I'm trying to say. Yeah, and the things that I don't say with that, right? But what you fail to face and what you fail to not have an awareness, keen awareness, and realize and face in front. To front something that's put it all the way there and say that this is a problem and an issue, the disrespecting of people knifing me. If you don't do that sort of thing, as I say, it's going to continue to carry on. And it has to because it's not being stopped. That's how people get away with things. And that's why you have so many violent whatever being done on Facebook Live and everywhere else. Because people don't stop anything. They just overlook and keep going, right? Leave me a comment in the comment section, viewer. Let me know what you feel. I think that's all to be said for now. I just needed to say that, and I'm gone.